Today, we're going to talk about blackheads and how you can naturally get rid of your blackheads. Now, like I said in many other videos, to fix a problem, you have to understand it. So I'm going to give you a little understanding, not too much, not too technical, and then we're going to get right into how to fix it, but not the typical fix where you're trying to fix something from the outside in by doing things on the skin, using pore strips, like putting a tape on and ripping it off. No, we're not going to go there. I'm going to show you how to fix it from the inside out. Get to the root cause rather than just keep treating the symptom over and over, because you want to ultimately make sure it doesn't keep coming back. So what is a blackhead? And also, what is a whitehead? Okay, they're very similar. And they call them comedones. Okay, comedones. And that comes from the Latin word, which means to eat up, which they're relating to a parasite worm. Okay, because apparently way back when they came up with this name, it looked like a worm. So comedone comes from the word worm-like. Now, the difference between a whitehead, which is called a closed comedone, and a blackhead, which is an open comedone, really just boils down to this one thing. In a blackhead, the material that's in the pores, okay, that's black, is being exposed to air or oxygen. So it's oxidizing, very similar to if you were to cut open an apple and leave it exposed to air, it's going to turn brown, right? Same exact thing happens in your skin. So a closed comedone, which is a whitehead, is like a little pimple. It has a membrane over the white material, and so it's not exposed to oxygen, so it's not going to turn brown or black. So that is the difference. So what we're dealing with is a clogged hair follicle / problem with the sebaceous gland, which is the oil gland. So we have this combination of things happening. And so this material is a combination of, and you can call it pus, which is oil, bacteria, and keratin, which is a type of protein. So we have oil, bacteria, and a little bit of protein, and that forms a little plug. And so what most people do, which is a big mistake, is start to overwash it and try to clean it out, thinking that it's dirt or dirty pores, when it is not that. It has nothing to do with dirt in your pores. But not having that knowledge, you might think, wow, yeah, I need to scrub my face more. So they scrub their face, they overwash it, they use cleansers, and they start using this tape, or it's called a pore strip, where they just put this on their skin and they rip it off, or their nose, and they're trying to pull this stuff out. The problem is they end up making it worse because they don't realize that there's this layer of friendly bacteria and other microbes living on your skin that's part of your immune system that's protecting you against the bad bacteria. And so when you over cleanse or wash the area, you sterilize it, and now you make your skin wide open to becoming infected, because we do have a bit of an inflammatory infection going on in these small pores. So why is this material manifesting? Where is it coming from? What's involved? Well, if you look deeper, there's several things going on. We have a spike in androgens, okay? And you see this very commonly in puberty. That's why you see a lot of teenagers with blackheads. And so androgens is a type of testosterone. It occurs both in boys and girls. And there is a weaker testosterone and a stronger testosterone. It's called DHT. So basically, you see people with acne, blackheads, whiteheads with more DHT. So the question is, where does that come from? Well, that is coming from a spike in insulin, okay? And another hormone, which is like insulin, called insulin-like growth hormone number 1. Don't get too caught up into the name. Just realize that there are two things that are making this occur. Both of them increase the oil production, the size of the pore, as well as some of this extra protein material. But that's really interesting, but it doesn't really tell us what to do unless we understand what triggers insulin and a spike in IGF number 1. And that would be 3 things, okay? Refined carbohydrates, which is a pretty broad category. We're talking about the sugars, we're talking about the bread, the pasta, the crackers, the waffles, the pancakes, all the things that you may love. So refined carbohydrates will greatly spike insulin and create this problem. The next thing that is on the list that's very powerful, that's certain things in dairy. Think about it. What is dairy? Well, dairy is milk that helps grow a cow, okay, or other animals. It's a growth type thing. So it's filled with a lot of hormones that can affect our body. So any form of dairy, whether it's yogurt, it's even kefir, cheese, especially milk, can have a big effect on your skin, especially if it's commercial, where they're adding other things in there. And the commercial milk, it comes from cows that are fed a lot of omega-6 grains, and they're not doing as much grass. Grass-fed cows have more beneficial things that are less anti-inflammatory. But anyway, all you need to know right now is dairy can definitely worsen this situation, okay? And the third thing is a certain type of fat. And the type of fat that makes things worse with blackheads, whiteheads, and acne is omega-6 fatty acids. Not all the omega-6 fatty acids, but most of them, like the corn oils, the soy oil, which is in a lot of foods that have refined carbohydrates. It's in a lot of restaurant foods, okay? So we have omega-6 fatty acids, corn oil, canola oil, cottonseed oil, things like that. And if you looked at, graph this over time, in our diets in the last 20 years, we had this massive spike in refined carbohydrates, sugar, and also dairy in different forms, especially even the sweetened yogurts, and a massive spike in the omega-6 fatty acids. All right, so that's all very interesting, but now what can we do about it? What is the plan? Well, number one, okay, and this will work. This is working on the inside out. You want to get rid of these refined carbohydrates. You want to go low carb. If you're not familiar with what that means, I'm going to put a link down below. Number two, you want to eliminate dairy right now. Okay, all dairy, just get it out of the diet. And that includes even cheese, okay? And you're going to see a huge change in your skin. All right, number three, we want to decrease or eliminate all these extra oils, omega-6 fatty acids. And you probably need more information on this, especially if you don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to put some links down below, because omega-6 fatty acids are so all over our diet that it's going to actually quite surprise you. So by decreasing omega-6 fatty acids and increasing omega-3 fatty acids, your skin is going to thank you, okay, by not having these blackheads anymore or even acne. So what is omega-3 fatty acids? Well, that would be like the fish oils. That would be like cod liver oil, especially, because cod liver oil has vitamin D and vitamin A, whereas fish oils don't. But if you start eating more seafood and fish, that would be a good idea, especially salmon. Or you can just do some cod liver oil. And if you don't like the taste of that, we have them in capsules. I put a link down below. All right, and number four, okay, this is the icing on the cake. I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't talk about cake right now. Borage oil. Borage oil is a type of omega-6 fatty acid. It's called GLA, but it doesn't create the normal inflammatory situation that a lot of these other omega-6 oils do. In fact, it's anti-inflammatory. It helps thin the sebum or the oil. It helps break down the plug, that protein plug, which we want. It helps reduce oxidation. In fact, it creates an antioxidant effect, okay? I mean, a lot of people that take borage oil notice a big change in their skin. So that's definitely something you want to add to the list. All right, so now that you have a plan for your skin, the next video to watch would be relating to omega-6 fats, okay? So check that out. I put it right here.